This is my perspective on God. Now, before we get started, I know it's controversial and everything. I'm not dissing any religions. I'm not dissing anyone's beliefs. In fact, I like religion. It's something that I'm interested in learning about. And you can learn so much from life by reading holy books and studying different religions. There's not one religion that's like, hey, you do bad things and then you get rewarded for it. Like, no, it's just different interpretations of things. Different religions are different interpretations of overall the same goal, you know? This is my perspective on God. They call God the man up above, right? The man up above. I don't think that there's any straight up problem with this, but I'm a big person on perspective, and I'm a big person when it comes to wordplay. I'm very mindful of how I use words and how words influence different people's mindsets and everything. Like, whenever I talk on here, I try to make sure that I say things in the best way possible so I get to express my perspective on things in the best way possible so everybody can understand it. Because language is so important. So many things get lost inside of language. Saying the man up above, first calling God a man is personifying God. Man is a human thing. There's a man and a woman, right? When you say man, man is human and man is a male, right? A human male. You may say I'm overanalyzing everything. I don't care, bruh. But hear me out. The man, what is a man? A man is a human being. A man is a male. A human being has emotions, it has feelings. It's personifying God. And then up above is to, you look up there. God is further than the eyes can see. You can't look up and then see God up there, right? You can't see God because he's so far up there. This is what it does to my psyche. I see it as, God is this human person who has feelings and emotions. And then he's up above, which means that he's so far away. Like, if I see a man up above, I would think of like, hey, I look at some man in an airplane or something, or flying or something. He's so high up that I can't relate to him, right? He's so far away that I can't really relate to who he is. We're in two different places right now, rather than a man or anybody next to me, right? I can relate to them a lot more because we're in the same vicinity of each other. What I'm trying to say is, I don't like the idea of personifying God, okay? I feel like God is a lot more than a personified being, right? I see God as an entity. At least for me personally. I'm not trying to convince anybody that I'm right or anything, but I try not to personify God. I try not to call God a he, even though I do, because, I've been programmed to do that, call God a he. I don't like to call God a male or a female or anything, because I feel like God is so much greater than that. I feel like God is so much greater than a human being. And then to say that he's up above feels like it's so unrelatable. Like, I can't relate to God. He's so far away. Why would he care about me all the way down here on this earth, this one individual? Why would God care about me? I hear a lot of people say that. Why would God care about me? God don't like me. God don't... Because I feel like people see God as somebody who's so high up in the sky that God don't even really relate. Like, you see somebody flying in a plane, you look down, they not gonna look at you, this little small ass ant, and then be like, wow, I really relate to that little ant right there. No, I see God as inside of us. I feel like God is inside of us. I feel like God is that intuition, that feeling inside of you that tells you what's right or what's wrong. That gut feeling that you can't explain, that nobody can. You can't tell somebody what intuition is. You just feel it. I feel like that's what God is. I feel like God is nature, human nature, mother nature, like the trees, the plants, all the human beings, the entire universe. God is the entire universe. God is an entity. He's all of that. A part of God is inside of you as well. So what does it do to your psyche when you see God as inside of you? They say we were created in the image of God, right? I like that. I like that wording. I like that phrase. I like that quote, that we are created in the image of God. You don't feel like God is so far away to where you can't relate to God. God is a lot closer because, you and God are created in the same image. But I like to go a little deeper and say that God a piece of God is inside of you. You know, you live more like God when you do things that feel that, you know, that your intuition tells you is right. When you do things that are morally right, when you are helping people, when you are being a servant to the people around you, when you are being a servant to the land, you take care of everything around you. You know, you're just doing the right thing. Like they say, living Christ-like. To live like how God wants you to live, that intuition, that feeling that's inside of you telling you, hey, this is the right thing to do. That's what being Christ-like is. That's what I feel like. That's why the intuition is there. That's God. God is inside of you. So don't feel like God is too far away for you to relate to God. And I feel like religion is the best way to get the idea possible across to the masses, because the masses aren't going to be able to interpret this in such a deep level. But I'm over here just to give like a deeper insight on this thing, okay? That's what I feel like I'm doing. And like I was saying about the language thing, people read the holy books, and I'm not saying that these holy books are incorrect at all, because in fact, I feel like you can learn basically all the answers to life if you read these different holy books, because they have so many answers of things in life. It's just a different interpretation. It's just a different story. It's just, I feel like these holy books are the books to life. Just like any other book, if you really read it and you look into it, and you don't just read it for the surface level, like you might see them talking about a lamb, or you might see them talking about animals or very old traditional things that you just can't relate to. But you have to look deeper than that. You gotta read in between the lines to actually relate. I feel like people shouldn't use these holy books against other people, saying that other people are living their life wrong. I don't like when people judge other people for their beliefs or judge people for anything, man. Let's take a book like the Bible. I really like the Bible. You know, from the things that I've heard from in the Bible, I really like a lot of it. And I feel like, you know, when I experience my life, when I live my life, I'm like, dang, this sounds just like something in the Bible. This is how closer to God I became. But, you know, I want to talk about language, okay? Take the Bible, for example. There's so many versions of the Bible. They have the New King James Version. They have this, they have that. But the original Bible was written in Hebrew, which means that, you know, since these religions have been existing for so long, over time, people who rewrote it interpret it in such a different way. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying don't believe in the Bible. I'm not saying don't believe in whatever holy book you're reading. I'm not saying just completely cut it off, because I don't think you should. But I think that you should also not be that person where you're like, hey, the Bible, hey, you see this right here, this say that, and then you living not like that. And then, you know, don't be that critical person. You can't be that person, because have you guys ever played that game where, you know, where you sit around in a circle and it's a bunch of little kids, and then the teacher starts off with saying one sentence, right? And then you whisper it to the other person. You whisper it to the other person next to you. And then by the time it gets back to the teacher again, it's a completely different story. I'm not saying that the Bible's overall message is a complete different story, but I'm saying that people can interpret it in so many different ways, and I don't think that you should shame somebody for interpreting what they believe in a different way, you know? I think there's so many lessons that you can learn from these holy books if you sit down and listen to it and read it and study it and look in between the lines. But like I was saying with God, man, I say that you are God, okay? I say that you are God, meaning that a piece of God is within you. So you should move like you have the power to make your reality come true, the life that you want to live. God gives you all the power that you need to live that type of life that you want. But that doesn't mean you are God, as in you are a God. You are walking around acting like you can run stuff, like you can just do whatever morally incorrect because you're God. No, because God is still higher than you. Like I said, God is the universe. God is everything. You going against other things of God, you going against somebody else, a different individual. You do these harmful things to other individuals or to nature or to whatever. You're going against God, okay? So keep that in mind. You have to be a servant to everything around you. You have to serve. You have to be a caring and giving person to everything around you as well as yourself. And that's you being God. God isn't someone that you can negotiate with. God, what do I mean by that is you can't negotiate with God and be like, hey God, can I mess up this thing a little bit like one time and then, you know, whatever. No, and you can't be like God, my life is too hard. My life is so hard. Can you make it a little bit easier? No, God is the answer. God is non-negotiable. God is like, hey, this is what's right, this is what's wrong. You do what's right, you get rewarded. You do what's wrong, you get punished. You have to go with the universe. You have to go with God. You got to do the things that God wants you to do. You can't negotiate God, because God is the answer. God is the only way. God is no, oh, you sad? Okay, well, I'm gonna change my own principles to make it easier for you. No, this is God. This is how it is. God is like, this is how it is. Now you can listen to me, you can learn to understand me and learn the things that I'm telling you that you need to do. And then if you do those things, I will reward you. Okay? That's how it is. I'm not negotiating with you saying, oh, you can break these laws and I'm going to reward you. No. This is how it is. This is what's right. This is what's wrong. And that's what I mean by you can't negotiate with God, okay? Now, this is such a deeper idea. This is so deep. And I understand, this is not easily comprehensible for most people, which is why I like religion, because religion is so much easier to understand, which is why I understand why they personify God. It's easier to understand God as, as the man up above rather than an entity. God is this, God is that. God, like, if you tell it to a kid's gonna be like, but no, that's a tree. But no, this is me. That's a car. So it can be very difficult to comprehend this. So this is not just a one video type of thing. I'll probably have to go in depth a little more. This might be a whole series, but I really feel like I need to express this. These are just my personal philosophies. I like religion. I like learning from different religions because I can apply it to my life to make my life a better life to live. I can learn how to be a better person for other people. I can learn to be a better servant to those around me, the earth around me, for nature, for everything. But, for me, I want to go a little bit deeper. And there is no this versus that versus this. There is no On this channel, I'm all about bringing things together. So this is probably not going to be the last video that I talk about along these lines. Hopefully that you guys can take something from it. Like this video if you liked it, and dislike it if you didn't like it. I know that it's a lot of people who might not like it because, it's a very, very sensitive subject. So if you don't like it, dislike it. But don't dislike it. Leave a comment if you wish, your perspectives on it, if you disagree or agree, and why. We're all caring here. We're not versus anybody. We're not trying to create any type of conflict over here. This is just an open place for different perspectives. I'm open-minded and I'm open to listen to anybody's perspectives, anybody's beliefs, because I want to learn as well. And subscribe if you want more content from All Seeing Ty. And yeah, I'm out, man. Peace.